Hello and welcome to the channel, it's the Eradicator, and in today's video we are going to go over Derelict Outposts that we saw in the last episode of In Star Citizen, the first episode of In Star Citizen of the year, by the way, so it's great to see that it is back. And what we are learning from that episode is that there's definitely a lot that is being done by the Montreal team from Turbulent when it comes to landing zones and especially new content that is going to come up this year and in the coming years as well. And so among the new content that is coming up are those Derelict Outposts that we have already seen shipped across various planets and moons. It first started with a Reclaimer Derelict Outpost on Makotech, and now we're seeing in 3.18 PTU new Derelict Outpost on various moons and planets, but especially also a 600i and Mercury Star Outpost on Daymar, which is called Whistlescape. It's pretty cool as well, and it's basically delivering new gameplay opportunities for a lot of players, new things to do, new places to visit, and a great setup for planetary navigation tech, which also allows NPCs to move and walk around surfaces of planets and moons, and especially here in this case around structures as well, even though those are derelicts. Now obviously we are learning with the last episode of In Star Citizen that there is more to come in the form of different types of derelict outposts, including shanty towns and bars and just leftovers of various places that still remain inhabited or that are transformed as bases for different factions, or at least NPC factions that are located around the verse. And so I also was wondering about, why is there such a focus on Derelict Outposts? Why is it something that Cloud Imperial Games are working on that much? And I think that the reason why is because they're also working on creating content for the Pyro system. Now we know that the Pyro system is not going to have any actual landing zones like the ones that we see on Stanton, or you have Lorville and Area 18 and New Babbage and so on. You're not going to see any of that in the Pyro system. The closest thing that's going to be like a landing zone is going to be a Rune Station, but I think that we should expect Rune Station to be a Green Mex on steroid more than anything else. So it's not really going to be a place where you're going to be seeing cities or big centers of activity. And so they still want to make sure there's something to do in the Pyro system. They don't want Pyro to be this kind of barren place where there is nothing to do, and that's why it needs to make sense to have settlements. And these settlements, obviously there are going to be artifacts from where the Pyro system was actually officially settled and controlled by the UE several hundred years ago, and that's why you should expect those places to be run down old derelict outposts. Some of them still in decent working order, like the ones that we saw, for example, in the CitizenCon demo from 2 years ago. I believe it was already 2 years ago. Or different types of shanty towns, like the one that we saw, for example, in various segments of Witness Guides from the last Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Now those of course were in cinematics, but the ones that we're gonna have in game are eventually going to have to be put inside the actual game engine, and these are the ones that we saw in the last episode of Inside Star Citizen. And yeah, these are going to be different possibilities as well that are going to be added to the Stanton system too. It's not just for the Pyro system, but there is no reason why we can't see them in the Stanton system as well. Not everybody is bright and shiny in the Stanton system. There are also illegal settlements. There are also shanty towns. We can think, for example, of some of those areas where some of the poorer people would live around Lorville, for example, or on Planet Hurston. I would totally see such places around junkyards as well. I think that Brio's Brickyard on Daymar could be a great example. And so those derelict outposts here could bring in more diversity, better gameplay opportunities, and overall bring a much better level of immersion for everybody out there who plays Star Citizen. And not just that, but they can also bring different types of missions as well, such as those that we've seen before, such as FPS missions, or also bounty hunting missions, or just delivery missions. But not just that, we could see eventually future types of missions, especially when it comes to wrecks or junkyards, munching missions, or just cleaning up missions. The possibilities are pretty much endless out there. Anyway, guys, that is all I had to say here about those Derelict outposts, why Star Citizen developers are working on them, and what we should expect to see from them in the future. But that is all for today. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. How do you guys feel about all that work being done on Derelict mission? Would you like, or at least Derelict outposts, would you like Columbia Games developers to be focusing more on other locations? Is there something in particular you have in mind? Well, share your thoughts in the comment section down below down there. That is all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to everybody out there who's been helping out the channel via Patreon or the YouTube Join membership program, including Dr. Fobin, Zio Crusher, and Wolfbite Pug. It's been the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. A premium video like this one takes a lot of time and effort to record and edit, and I am aware that you'd like to see more of these as much as I'd like to produce more as well. This is why I rely on YouTube and Patreon members as well as Twitch subscribers to keep the lights on and help me become one day a full-time content creator. The closer you help me achieve this goal, the more I can do for you. Together, we've already accomplished so much, and I cannot thank you enough for your support. You are making all of this possible.